All praises to the Most High God. Peace and salute to the real. Welcome to Stealth Civilization Radar. I'm your host, Red Squid X. Welcome to interesting, hopefully it's an interesting presentation. Right, it's going to be about Cthulhu, Baphomet, Satan, the devil, all that type of stuff. But, you know, we rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. We do not promote or support any satanic or Luciferian ideologies. And we don't support atheistic, lame ass and talking shit about the Bible for 10 years and still struggling for views type of ideas. Okay, we've been giving thanks and praise to the Creator since day one. It's almost been 10 years now, and I've made strides. I've done things that a lot of people haven't, and we're going to warm up, give people a chance to get here. And I'm going to just go down a list of things, just a couple of things we've done when it comes to these comparisons. So real quick, right? Y'all all familiar with AI, right? Here go a picture of AI. Right? That's a picture, an AI picture of basically me asking AI to show itself. Right? And so what we came across is that the AI is ancient. The concept of AI is not new. If there's nothing new under the sun, AI, cyborgs and robots, clones, avatars is not a new thing. Here's a more ancient image. Now, do you know what that is? Notice the halo behind the head. It exists. So when they made this ancient statue, did they make it with the ideas that made AI smart? Or were they made smart by the ideas from the AI to make humans smarter? Something like that. So real quick though, because it's just a warm up, that's the pole star. That represent the pole star. That's the hottest, most powerful light source in the universe. All the other stars rotate around it, underneath it. Not around it, but underneath it. There's a Hindu guru out there that came up with a concept, and he talked about how it hangs like a chandelier. Can we find that real quick? Would it be too much to find that and play that real quick so that people can get a visual? Let's see if we can find that real quick. No, they just. So either way, right? The point is that the pole star is there at the top in the center, and all the heavens are underneath it, going around in a spiral. And blue is the light, because blue is the hottest flame possible. There ain't no hotter flame than a blue flame. And the next power is white. The light that's strongest after that is a white light. So you'll see this combination a lot. Them talking about Polaris. In the Hebrew cosmology, that's where the throne of God is. But you never heard people like flat earthers speak on that, because they're Freemasonic OTO cocksuckers, right? They dabble with the witchcraft and Satanism. That's why they zesty. And that's why they blasphemous at the same time. And they think that they got the knowledge, right? There's people out here for 20 years plus, and it's just as heathenistic as they want to be. God didn't bless them. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Why the fuck talk about something you don't really know what the fuck you talking about? They said they found a mile worth of tunnels underneath the Giza pyramid, and they're not sideways, right? They're not like tunnels. There's like shafts that go straight down, and there's no information on it. There's no ancient information on those shafts. So I would just, but yeah, back to this pole star concept. I just wanted to let everybody know that if you ever dabble with the AI imagery, and you see that they always use the color blue. The color blue is for everything. Look at this picture, right? You'll see the concept of the blue eye. And so for those that know, right, we had over at Red Squid X had discovered the concepts of the blue eye. And you know what I'm saying? The concept of blue with AI is strong. But let me show you something. And I'm not being pushed off a ledge, right? Here is the Dogon tribe. Here's the Dogon tribe. Here is the Japanese. And they both got the same shit on. They both got the same shit on. You could trace the origin of the Japanese language to Africa. You could trace the origin of the Chinese language and people to Africa. You could trace the origin of Hindu Kush to Africa. And so this knowledge is strong. Look at this. This is what the people in the occult was on back in them days. And this is what the AI is showing us. It want to show us. You see, it's the same thing. And so why do we even need to worry about old occult information? When if we just stay accurate with what we're doing now, we could achieve. And you know what I mean? I guess it's all about illustration. You know, they want to copy God. They want to bring in a false version of the Most High and be like that. Yeah. But let me stop messing around with y'all, man. Y'all here for the Cthulhu shit? Let's get to it then. Said people said, man, get to the Cthulhu shit. Peace to the chat. Peace to the chat. What's good? Peace, Queen. Salutes to you. Canademy, I see you. Pixel T, Peace, Queen. Salutes to you. It's a macro to micro to 0 point, the central axis of a torus field. It's a macro to micro 0 point. I like that. That's good language. That's good language. In physics, Pixel T say, in physics and in energetic models, the exact center of balance or stillness where opposing forces centripetal and centrifugal neutralize. That's great. That's awesome. I wish I could keep some of these comments up on the screen. The top and bottom of the vortex is heaven and hell. So, you know what? We're going to talk about some hellish type things today. So, I did put in there as above, so below, question mark. Because people like to say as above, so below, right? A lot of people don't know where it come from. But so what? You know what I mean? Like, I seen as above, so below. I mean, I came across the Emerald tablets like in 2004, some shit like that. Maybe 2004. I don't remember. 2004, 2005, perhaps. No, it was early. I've been knew about it, but I started. You know what I mean? I gave out copies of the Emerald tablet back in the 2000, early 2000s. So, anyways, man, like when people do it and they say as above, as below, and I just like, yo, they're trying to make an end of a point of a sentence, man. Micro, macro, yeah, okay, yeah. See, they need to say that though. You know, it's you can't never see this is the thing, Pixel T. You can't say all the words. You can only say, or you should only say that which is pertinent to you right now. Right? To like try to make, you know, word groupings, it could be messing people up because they'll take their brain, they'll stretch their mind out so far between each word. So let's get to it though, Pixel. Watch me now. So let's go to the word, you know, Cthulhu. Chthonic means or relating to the underworld. That's what chthonic means. Chthonic, if you ever heard of chthonic. It means Chthonian. Chthonic, Chthonian. So that is a term that that you don't hear very often. Why is that? Well, the reason why you don't hear Chthonian is because it's a secret. It's really the word that means the most to a lot of people. And so they dare not say it out loud or make any reference to it or any words like it. And so when you hear Chthonian, you're like, man, I never heard that word used. I never heard it said. You know, I never heard anything that sounds similar, right? Because it's guarded. Words are guarded and kept secrets. You know what I'm saying? And so this word relates to relates to or inhabiting the underworld. And so people talk all this stuff about being researchers, synchronous scientists, doctors, philosophers, you know what I'm saying, content providers, you know, and it seemed like more people overlook or avoid speaking on the underworld with real respect. Because if people say, I respect my ancestors, but your ancestors knew of the underworld, why would you sit there and say that's not real now? So, you know, people are hypocrites, and they're really immature. And when they're immature, they're like little bad children. And it's like, you know, children, you know, young, listen, that shit was ratchet how people dealt with bad kids back in the day. You see all that shit on them cave wall, all them paintings and shit. And they be like, oh, they was in the human sacrifice. Like, no, they was really getting rid of the criminals. Shit got bad. So when you went to a place and you see a bunch of skulls and dead bodies, you know, people was ratchet. Like, their law enforcement strong over there type shit. Anyways, let's get to it, man. Live and learn, what's good? So let's get to it, man. So we were doing research yesterday, remember? And it said, shout out to Shiryu, because we doing this bill, because Shiryu said some shit yesterday and got to start. All ancient titans of the sea, right, were sea-dwelling concepts, right? They control tides or currents, shape-shift. It's supposed to say shape-shift. Let's just say shape-shape. Shape-shift, hidden interactions with humans. It was these traits that these three shared. This is what the AI told us, right? Now, I already know Cthulhu and Godzilla, right? But I also know about this. I know the Japanese believe that the king of the world live on the sea, on the bottom of the ocean. And so it just was there in the Rolodex, and I went and got it. Because, matter of fact, it wasn't Shiryu. My bad. It wasn't Shiryu. It was this guy, this new person in the chat. They said, when you going to write the Necronomicon? And so I went on to look that up. So a Necronomicon, I ain't really off the top knew what it was until we looked it up. And it was like, it's got to do with Cthulhu or H.P. Lovecraft in them. So, all right, bet. So now, what's the name of that dragon on the sea? The RYUJINN. And guess what? RYUJINN, Ryu is dragon and Jin is the spirit. So there's the spirit of the dragon spirit. It's a water demon. It's Godzilla come out the ocean, right? Cthulhu live in the water. And the RYUJINN is living on the surface of the bottom of the ocean floor, according to ancient Japanese. So that's pretty much, you know, they could be talking about, see, this is the thing. We all know, right? And this is a advance to bring this up during this topic. But we all know that this exists. And so that is a serpent head. That's a python head. This is the source of the pythonic religions in the world. Like you'd see it where ancient Greece would, you know, have the Oracle Delphi induced in some type of drug or mist of some sort, which got her high, and she told stories to people that believed she had a prophetic powers, and that was the order of Python, right? The order of Pythus. That concept goes back to the snakehead. When you see people religiously playing with snakes, like the Appalachian Americans and like the people over in India with the cobras and stuff. Like there's people putting snakes all around them and all fucking around. That concept go back to when the time where this head was not submerged underwater. It was above the ground. And when entities saw it, they was close to a demigod, because the spirit consciousness of this serpent was highly intelligent. And that's why the serpent was the most cunning beast of the field. And ain't nothing topping that when it comes to, in the beginning. Right. And so this consciousness would emanate a frequency that certain type of people's minds could reach. If they were smart, if they were special, if they was seen, they was blessed by God, something unique about them, they had a quality. Their mind was like drawn to say, I'm gonna go on a journey. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna go. And all types of walk of life creatures that was motivated by this spirit presence perished along their way. And very few got to see with their own eyes what this was that had drawn them to that. And so you basically have it where the whole world was ruled and it was since submerged in water catastrophe. It was a nature of the earth that happened. And the people that don't have the ability to predict or understand the earth are going to be victims to it. And so there was great civilizations of the past, but natural disaster always brought people low again. So it's almost imperative that a person creates some type of structure to float off the surface in order to survive natural disasters. And so you had it where the people done did things, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, here it is where this too is connected to Cthulhu, because the spirit of Cthulhu, this Cthulhu as an entity is supposed to be so old, right? It's supposed to be the oldest, well, according to my information, right? So now oldest living creature, one of the oldest biological creatures that we have in contact. Yeah, but telepathy is just a facet, and telekinesis and all that, but we talking about real teleportation, like people can travel, and telepathy is, come on, like I wouldn't tell nobody to do anything telepathic, because what the fuck why would you be trying to connect with your mind with something else in the world? Like I think it's really immature, because anybody got a brain, right? Of course, the low level shit is like, so it's like these people, when they got the machines together, they really did teleport their bodies to and fro throughout the earth. You remember the Bible say Satan traveled to and fro throughout the earth. How did he do that? But you might be talking about Cthulhu. Is you talking about Cthulhu? Or you talking about, you said we? Yeah, I wouldn't tell people to do any of that. Don't tell people to do that. Cthulhu, it's a different word. We're going to get to it, man. We're going to get to it. See, that shit right there is unnecessary. Whatever that is. Travel telepathically is crazy. It's like, you ever, like, listen, man, don't try, what the fuck, Pixel T, come on, man. Why it always gotta be that? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be able to recognize the system for what it is, and all that nature shit is subject to the system's manipulation. So there ain't no, as you read it, like when people just say it and like you think you're gonna just jump right into it, like you sit there and meditate and all this shit, that shit is bullshit. That's the type of shit that the people from India came to the Americas and was selling to rich, racist white folks that wanted to be smart and hate on Africans at the same time. And they do that using Far East nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And so nobody with a brain, I think, should listen to people that's relatively new in the game when it comes to existing on Earth and them teaching what it's supposed to be. Don't it make sense that the younger ones are the dumber ones? And so though they have charisma and they got all this, they use big words or some dumb shit. It's like, listen, if God don't like it, I don't like it. Heathens, non-believers, atheists, and shit like that. Even people on the fence need to watch out, because like, who the fuck need to be around you? Nobody really. And so just because it's the digital errors and levels and shit, it's like, it's crazy how people is worth less and less as time go on. And so they must be fighting, but they lose. We're gonna talk about people crawling from the bottom. You know how they claw, they, like, you never heard the term clawing their way up and shit, trying to claw their way up. Yeah, let's get to it though. That was a part of the damn picture. All right. So this is the thumbnail here. What is Pixel T asks, what is the accurate word? So intuitive inquiry is not. No, I'm saying telepathy should not be practiced at all, period. You should just take telepathy out of your vocabulary, because it's a mind trap. How are you going to have successful world free version of telepathy when you know they got HARP, the moon, Saturn matrix exists, there's all these things in the air, frequencies, people doing witchcraft, all this shit in the air. What makes how you going to just read a book, an ancient scroll, and they say do some meditation, and you just going to jump right to it? It's harder than that. That's why Christ, the words of Christ, is the realest. The Bible is the realest, because the concept of spiritual warfare exists with the word, the power of the word. All praise to the Creator. That's where the war at. Everybody else just talking how to do this, how to do that. But the word is telling you, look, in order to survive, in order to get not your soul destroyed, stop being a pervert. Stop being dirty. Stop lying. Stop trying to deceive people. All that type of shit. See, them dirty ass people out there don't want to hear that. So they bash the Bible. They spend their career bashing the Bible, asking the same dumbass questions. Like I was just scrolling this morning and I seen what's this guy named Garfield from the Dag Squad and shit, concept from the HOK Sonnet of them. That's how I know him. And he had a question talking about, it was the resurrection real on the title. I didn't see the video. I'm just saying, it just said that. And it's like, yo, here it is. It's like 15 years, 20 years later, and they still asking them questions for views and clout. And he said he was a former Muslim. Squad. That's an assassin, that's a killing, murderous title. And he a goofball. Like he'll sit there and let an Edomite talk about WD4R like he was a real good, like he was something worthwhile talking about. Because that's what Muslims do. They let the Edomites dick them down. They're a bunch of faggots. You know what I mean? Which is cigarettes in England. So they just ashes, man. They to the left side, man. But Muslims is a hoax, man. Muslims love Edomites, dog. Muslims love Edomites, dog. Muslims suck Edomites off, son. That's for real. Fuck Muslims that do such things. But shout out to all the real good people that don't. And they could be some from Islamic environments. You know, they was raised in the shit, so they didn't really have a choice since they was a little baby. They was cursed with being a piece of shit spiritually if they don't repent. All right, so I'm gonna prove that this shit is real. I'm gonna prove that this topic is worth knowing about. So this is a clip from my very first video I ever made. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My very first video, and you know, I was all about synchronism then, but I realized I came through and started this shit, son. Like I really did that. Whatever I started. All right, enough about me. Listen, zeros and ones. Okay, zeros and ones. That's the most basic concepts of life, is the zeros and the ones. That's the body and the phalange, the tentacle, the legs, and the torso. You understand? So when they came out with this TV show, Cthulhu wasn't even in the motherfucker. Cthulhu wasn't even in there. But this show was canceled. So this show was canceled, and we don't know what was going to be later on in the series what this person had planned. But it was called Lovecraft Country after H.P. Lovecraft because the story is his story. Right? Look, Lovecraft Country. America's Demons Exposed. So that's just a story talking about Lovecraft material, but this is the person that was going to do season 2. She was going to show, this is a black woman that made this show, right? She was going to show how America was divided up, right? Where the white lands was for white people only. The new Negro Republic was for black people only. The Jefferson Commonwealth was for both people. And the tribal nations of the West was for outsiders. And that type of map don't exist nowhere except for from her information. And so, you know, this is why Hollywood suppressed people of color, because they have access to information angles that the people who run Hollywood don't have on their own. They either going to steal it, copy it, or they're going to, you know what I'm saying, try to buy it, or they're going to suppress it. And so here it is where this woman's show, which was a great show, it did good on the ratings, but it was still canceled because the things that it showed was edgy, dealing with witchcraft and technology. It was a great show. I suggest people go see that movie, just like somebody tell them to do something good for themselves. Because this woman made, that woman, whoever created it, made it knowing that this shit gonna get canceled. she knew that that was a risk. And so she made the first season as if it was going to be the only season in case it was the only season. And that's how you got to do it in Hollywood, right? You got to expect them to give Sinners the Oscars and give the Book of Clarence nothing, right? So you and we as consumers, we need to know the difference, like what to support, what not to support. Because we should have been rallied behind her. Why her season got canceled? Because she's a Black woman with a Black information, a Black ideas, whatever she's doing. She's just a woman in the United States. She ain't got to be about color or race, right? And so what we're going to talk about is predominantly a white idea. You would see South Park, right? Make fun of the concept of Cthulhu. But why does South Park bring up Cthulhu? Is it because it's funny? Right? We know that The Simpsons is known for saying prophetic stuff. We know The Simpsons is known for saying prophetic things. And South Park, man, these guys been around since I was in high school. Right? South Park kicked off in the 90s. And they also take like certain jabs at political things, right? But that's them talking about Cthulhu, right? And so this is rare, right? You never see nobody else really doing it except for people who might be edgy. And so there's dumbass movies on Tubi about, you know, you can look it up and try to find shit. I've seen maybe one or two of them, right? And not just Tubi, there's some on Netflix, right? But the point is that there are movies about it, perpetuating this idea by H.P. Lovecraft. But the concepts of H.P. Lovecraft and J.R.R. Tolkien are suspiciously, probably most likely connected to true information that they remixed into a fantasy, right? While all other movies, there's a little truth in it, but except for they make these all white Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be their truth hidden in code. I don't know. Here is a picture of a Mayan art, right? This is probably on one of the walls, perhaps. And you can see that it's a Mayan, it's a melanated person with this mask on that seemed to have these tentacles. You see how he got club claw hands and things like that. You see that? So it's like a creature. I don't know what creature that is, but the Mayans was telling about a creature. So here's ancient American information that's being incorporated with something that, well, yeah, H.P. Lovecraft was an American. There is no outside source about Cthulhu. It seemed to be American, but when you see this, it's even more than that. It's Mayan, ancient American. Yeah. Look, this is the whole picture. They're doing some type of celebration. They showing them wearing masks of other type of entities. We ain't got to ever say it's aliens, right? We could know that the earth is vast. And if they're talking about the ancestors, they're using these primitive costumes and masks to convey stories that was passed down to them on how the world got started and how things going on, right? So this concept is aboriginal to the land, right? All right. So it seemed that the most original ideas are processed, reprocessed, and regurgitated, remixed over time. And different people express it in different ways, the same thing. And so, what we're going to do is also see how people are saying the same thing, and we're going to see the different ways that they say it, and we're going to very much understand better what we're looking at. And so, the picture on the left and the right is two different pictures from different sources that are saying the same type of thing. It's true. One could be influenced by the other. The one on the right looked older. And so, how original is anything? The picture in the middle is supposed to be a fictional character. This is not even supposed to be real, right? But people have those are sigils right there. Those are supposed to be what is that? Some type of spiritual signaling down there. All right, what's that? So I'm not asking. I'm just saying. Somebody made this shit up, right? Just like somebody made those other things, but this is even more like here is clearly an artwork, probably from the 2000s, 1990s or something, maybe the 2000s. So I put effort to create it out their mind, and so it don't have nothing real to it, right? And so here is something from somebody's mind. Key and Peele created this idea and relayed and conveyed a Cthulhu, a chthonic message talking about us, a whole sky critter, right? But it had this shape for that one moment like it was Cthulhu, right? Right. And so people come up with these stories, or not stories, but they come up with the images. But the stories, the stories ain't all that. Right? The stories, I mean, H.P. Lovecraft, this shit is, when they make words up for names and shit, this shit is trash. It's like nobody, like, you know what I mean? Like you would have to literally just replace whatever names he used. You've been trying to find out what names he was trying to mean. And use a better name because he had a trash name. So this right here is we're gonna try to trace Buddy down, or whatever the truth might be. So this right here is from an old map. Y'all ever seen this map before? This map was released around 2016, maybe 2015. The Vatican let it out the vaults. It was a release from the vaults. Pixel TX, so our ancestors saw it. The tentacle entity. It comes from the ocean or appeared from the ocean into the skies. I think I believe that it appeared from the ocean, right? From below. And it walked on land. It tore shit up. It possibly skeeted in places. I don't know. I mean, that's That's what I see off the cave paint, so I don't have to go with that for it. But it, you know what I mean? It shit pooped, you know, possibly. You know, it left genetic code. How about that? It left genetic signatures. It mixed in with the population, the water supply, you know, eggs and babies and whatever that was down there on the ground. It it made noises. It made giant noises. And it changed people's religious perspectives because they saw a giant entity like somebody see a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? It's just a giant unicorn. And hold on, I got pictures. I got pictures to supplement that. I had made some AI pictures to go with basically those ideas. Let's see if I can find those real quick. It should be where I put them. Huh. Well, there go Manora. I was looking for one of those. So look, this is all the Cthulhu shit. Let's see if I see the ones that I made. Yo, walking through it. Look, that shit like a replica of this one. Yo, walking through. I made some joints where they were walking through the woods and shit. It's not in here. That's fucked up. There was giant Cthulhu pictures, man. Like he was walking like an animal will walk through the woods, but yo, it was a giant and shit. I've misplaced them somewhere. Don't worry. Yeah, but we good with this. What I got going on is strong. See, I put that shit in there. So let's just go ahead and go on with what we got. So down below in this map is where the giants is at. And so in this map, it showed giant people in there. I'm not even lying. That's what the map's showing. So we ain't doing. Damn, that's terrifying. What's terrifying? Yeah. I mean, look, see, it'll take you past, you know, it's scary. Yeah. I would say it's not like terror, right? Definitely, it would be scary. But you see, you gotta respect things. You know, when you respect what's right, you ain't gotta be scared of it. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Like if it was real now, like, but that shit would probably fuck buildings up. It will fuck neighborhoods up, like innocent people. But see, it'll be like, well, if that is a real creature and it's natural, then that's God. That's like a tornado coming through the neighborhood. There's a tornado coming through the neighborhood. That's all. And the tornado came through every end of an age, perhaps. Maybe, you know what I mean? Who knows when it came, but it came. So you know what? This is kind of like a more organic vibe of the Squatter Man. Like a more, not vibe, but a more organic type concept. Because the Squatter Man is energetic. And this is, you know, when it comes to the relay on what it is. So this possibly is like an organic that you're putting skin on it. You know, you ever seen Hellraiser? In Hellraiser, the creature was being brought back, and he just would start off with no flesh at all and shit, just blood. And then yo started to create a body, form a body. The first Hellraiser, the whole movie was about this thing making this woman kill people so that he could get more body. It kind of like Jeepers Creepers. Like the more sacrifice you do, the more he become like a human. Or have a human body and shit be brought back or something. It's crazy. I don't want to talk about it. But they basically telling you that they be doing craft and shit. But like, this is made up. You know what I'm saying? That shit's made up. Like, somebody with art skills said, this is what it looked like. It looked decent though, because it's humanoid. We can understand that. You got a face, it's different, got 4 arms. Whatever. So something's at the bottom of this map that the Vatican released, right? So upon inspection and collaboration with other photos, I surmised that we was looking at a religious system of giving attention to the king of the underworld. When you take the map, turn it upside down. See, this is the map. This is like a cross section of the earth. It's supposed to show the earth and layers underneath the earth in a visual format that you can easily understand. I'm not saying that the earth is exactly shaped exactly like this. I'm saying that this is roundabout information that was giving people the information that they can. And so that's why you see step pyramids on all type of cave paintings and shit, artwork. They even make step pyramids. Look, step pyramids is hidden in this picture showing the earth. If you turn it upside down, you see, we done seen that all type of places. Like, that's the real, that's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? Like, let's go to step pyramid real quick. Look at that. This is Nigerian pyramid. And it's the step pyramid. Boop, boop, boop. So that should tell you how we should be, how we work things on the electrical, like getting energy out the air. Like, if this is really the right side up, and we've been thinking in the opposite, this shit crazy, yo. Because here go on the surface, right? Like, I just turned it upside down, and it matched this Freemasonic situation with a square is where the surface of the world is to us, right? And so that means that at the top means at the bottom. And then that means in this picture at the top mean at the bottom. So that means that version of as above, so below, you ain't never seen before. And yeah, yo, look, this is more evidence. Look at this one. Now it makes sense. Like, this picture wouldn't make no sense to me, on the right. That picture would have made no sense to me on the right. I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus, man. The real shield up deity is referred to. I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus, man. And bless protect. There's no negativity allowed with the relay and all this. But look, this picture would have made no sense. It wouldn't have made no sense. You would just think it's people making this shit up. So look at the levels. It's like 7. It's probably the same amount of levels. So now it makes sense that they're talking about the devil at the top, which is really the devil at the bottom. Here go a whole nother picture, and they still showing it the same way when they come to a Freemasons done. So look, they go the pillars, and the coincidentally enough, where the pillars are, there are sections where people are. So there is the top once again, and it's whatever that creature is, their entity. So here it is, the Freemasons with the ark. The ark represent the cavernous entrance of a cave in to lead to the hollow world. Right? So people on the surface, and then you got people on the levels. And look, they're saying that this is connected. Look, I'm just letting the picture sit there. So at the top is the male and the female, the groom and the bride, the two sides of the one entity, the double-headed eagle, symbolism source, because Cthulhu is asexual, or like Cthulhu just multiply. Like Cthulhu don't need to, mate with anything. Cthulhu concept pretty much was fertilizing the land with creatures or with change to what creatures of life is there already. And so that season, that seasonal thing is pretty much like a natural way of, I don't know, this God is great. There's other things God put his attention to besides humans. So people just should check themselves before they wreck themselves. Here it go where this is at the end of that. I zoomed in, right? I zoomed in on this picture and I changed the colors up, and this is what I got. I still can't make that shit up. It looked like the head would be here, and that these are wings because of these lines here make it like, all right, these are wings on the side, but I can't make that. Look, Cthulhu, son. Ancient Cthulhu, dog. They didn't know to call it that, though. So them people that's in the know. Yeah. So here goes the ancient Africans. This is the same thing. This is the same thing. This is the same thing because look, that great bird. Now look, Huey got the bird fellas. NBC got the bird fellas. Right? Because that's a peacock right there, and that's supposed to be the tail feathers of a peacock. Look, the concept of a bird is a code. It's a code. It's a satanic code. Look. And so this used to, I don't know, it's like a trend. It used to be a trend, right? And it's just like an old swag, but it all went back to Satan. And the concept of Cthulhu possibly grow feathers and transform on his journey up to the surface world. So maybe the sunlight or the atmosphere on the surface world transform it, or it transform. It could only be speculation, but I believe that it's something like that. Right? And so here it is where in this one, it's like an abraxas-like legs, snake for legs with the chicken head. And so you see the red, black, white, and yellow. Those are lineages and corners of the earth. When you put that together, it's a medicine wheel colors. Right? So what they talking about? They talking about boar. right? The father of Odin and them. So that deals with a type of gene or genetics. And look, I'm gonna use these ancient techniques to prove it. Here goes Zeus with Athena. But what is that really when you see the same thing on a cave wall? What's that? That's a monster. That's a monster or something. I don't know what that is. It's a three-fingered monster next to a bird, man. Look at the wings. Little chicken wing bird, man. Or person. That's the same. It's the same thing as this winged Athena right here. And so look, even on top of that, look at that. They go a whole nother picture of cave painting. Way older than that statue. And it's showing you that those lines like that represent feathers and wings. Like it's like we could still see the lines, but when it was freshly made, like it had all type of detail in it. And so look, it's a bird man and a giant, right? With the snake. Look at the snake. Like the mouth open. See the big giant with his mouth open. So look, that's three different, now ancient ways of saying the same thing. What it's saying, I could speculate. But I think at least it stands for two separate genetic codes. You got those from below and those not from below. And so this concept with the bird, they talking about the same thing. They talking about somebody that eat and poop out. Like that devil, that demon did. Look, here go a cave painting, cave art, rock art. On the left, you see, got the little spines on his back and everything, just like Godzilla. Just like Godzilla, man. Look, 3 hands, 3 fingers. So it could be the same creature that we are already seeing with 3 fingers. That could be another. It's talking about the same creature potentially, right? Because I got 3 fingers. It look like that got 4 fingers. Okay. So look, here go this is supposed to be a famous cave painting from I think France. Château. It's the Château Le Pavé. Nah, this shit is in no, the Leroux caves. France? I don't know. But either way, it looked like spray paint. But look, what is that? What creature is that? Because it's not an elephant or a mastodon. Because it got 3 tusks. It's 4 tusks on there. So what got 4 tusks? Nothing. What got 4 protruding things coming out the front of his face? Nothing. And that's just 4 that we can see. They go 1, they go 2, they go 3 and 4. Excuse me. Yeah, I wouldn't even be standing there. But unless I don't know, certain, you know what I mean? Like good weed could make you stay there. You know, if you gotta be really tuned in to where you know you're not gonna get ate to stand there and shit. That would be tough. Like, you know what I mean? That's why imagery is so powerful because it could make you it's make believe. Like a person just looking at this would be like, look, what would I do in that situation? That's what movies always was. Movies, you know what I mean? You know, at least for me, like in the movie, I'll be like sizing up the kids, you know, because that was like around my age. Like we would watch movies and it would be like a kid my age and he doing all type of shit in the movie. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit. So that shit kind of put me aware. You know, we had Lil Ernie. He was doing karate and beating up adults and shit with kung fu karate. I was like, oh shit. I gotta get on my shit. You know, I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta be sure. You know what I'm saying? Look, a little bit, another bad creation. They was look like kids my age. I was like, oh shit, man. I might have him. Probably have to fight him. He look like he terrible to be in line with. You know what I'm saying? Like you might got a little problem with this one. You might have to fight. You know what I mean? I don't know. If I had to fight him in class, man, that should be. They look like little gangsters. Like, oh shit. I gotta be ready just in case. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if my girlfriend like one of these motherfuckers? I'm like, oh, that's gonna be over with. Shit. I'm just joking. So Satan made birds? Nah. Satan didn't make birds. How you got that? I don't know, man. You might be missing part of your face or something. You need to see the screen. Or you need to fix one of your ears, man. I did not say Satan made birds. Where you get that at? He said AI has shown me that many times in my image prompts. Terrifying shit. Man. Like we trying to get over, we trying to season these pictures and be strong. Is it a broadcasting frequency? What was I saying? Broad frequency. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna just guess the Earth broadcast, or you know, what I mean, there's a Earth frequency. There's manipulation frequencies, which is probably the most thing we could get to. Like I don't know, I'm not gonna say connections ain't gonna keep you connected to the Earth or make you connected to the Earth or no shit. I won't say you can't, but I'm gonna just say that there's a lot of things out there that make most people not able to or easily do. You know what I mean? All the divine is black, even the devil, says Dylan Spearman. What's good, peace souls? It's a black. All the divine is black, even the devils. You know, you can leave the devils out. You can leave the devils out, but I get it because people, I don't know, man. You want to say it's equal? I get it. I get it. But you ain't even gotta mention the devils because not everybody get mentioned. So if you're gonna ever leave somebody out, it's gonna be the devil and the devils and things like that. They the sacrifice. So even though I'm talking about this shit, it's all praise to the creator instead of whatever this is. Right? This potentially could be God's creation. But let's see. But the devils ain't divine, right? The devils is not divine. White people were created in a lab to create this material world. I wouldn't give them so much credit to distract black people. That's a strong stance for you to say that. So, all right, cool. You saying white people were designed to what? Let me see. White people were created in a lab to create this material world. See, I wouldn't give them that much credit. That's where I disagree with you at. But to distract black people, like, I agree. If you mean that the gods needed something to entertain themselves with. If you mean it like that, I agree with you. Because that's what it is. But to distract, and you mean entertain? You know what I'm saying? Full of illusions and game. They trying to make white people the fall guy for the corruption going on. There is, because the ops isn't a particular race. The ops are principalities in high places. You know what I mean? I got a picture of those people that sit on them thrones down below somewhere. But races are manipulated. But there still is the concept where when you do talk about divinity, black people or blackness or black is not a negative thing like the white supremacist system is made it out to be, right? Or that's what they wish it was. Right? But yeah, though, Satan didn't make any beast. He's the king of the jinn. Well, I would say this is Satan right here. And so if this was Satan, right, from his loins come all them creatures that's down there in the subterranean levels. He's day pack. In the Bible it says, yo is the father of lies, or that they the children of their father. They like their father, the devil, right? They talking about meatball. Because a shapeshifter, right? There's a whole bunch of things to that, like, you know what I mean? Deception, think deception and illusions and shit like that when it's a father of lies. That's technology. Could be, it probably include organic technology. And so this is the symbol for the demiurge. And the demiurge, if I'm not mistaken, basically is said to have fertilized the ground. Right. And so here go this fake. Hold on, let me see what they'll say. Satan did make it. All right. All the beasts of the earth and crawling, creeping things is made by God. Right. So here it is where this is supposed to be a fake idea. And when you suspect what's real and what's fake with people who copy shit, like you would be right or you would be fair and balanced to at least think that there might be some truth to what they say. And so people, I'm not trying to say run to the false things. I'm talking about we should be able to know and detect the true things when we see and hear it. And so we all have heard about the Baphomet, right? And so check this connection out. The goat and the octopus is a connection in their eyes. So when you look at the eyes of a goat, it's rectangle like the eyes of an octopus. Peep that. And so with the bro in the chat, Dylan Spearman 4041, what he says is all beasts of the earth and crawling, creeping things is made by God. So this right here is the connection that God made. Right? This is a connection that God made. And so that will prove that Cthulhu exists, because they really talking about that. You see? So look, here go a creature, man. I believe this creature, or this entity rather, has been talked about in ancient time, if this shit is true. Right? There's other things that I saw about this picture, like the foot seemed to be I think cloven is the term. So anyways, man, this body type is abnormal. It's a giant. It looked giant, got a long neck. It got a weird head. It got long arms, got long legs. It got a small torso. It looked like it's tall. It's in an atmosphere. Where did that atmosphere look like that? Is that a mist? Is that a fog? Is that a different atmosphere altogether? So I think that's somewhere in the hollow earth, somewhere in one of the air cavity caverns of the layers below offbeat, perhaps. You know, I don't know. But there's giants in these maps, man. This is a giant. It looked like it could be a primitive creature slash humanoid. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Down below, there's all type of stuff down there. There's all type of things down there, man. And so that's why people be depicting caves as mouths, because people get eat up when they go in them joints. They don't come out. You understand? So it's dangerous to even go in those places. You have to have UFOs. You have to have something that can withstand the environment down there. And you know what I mean? Like, it's dangerous, man. You gotta have some type of technology. Look at that. Look at that. That's a creature, man. What is that? Yo, listen, son. What's a humanoid creature? That shit wild. That shit is what movies made out of, son. They like make all type of movies like based on creatures and monsters and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whole time it's a white creature too, so it's like it could be one of Meatball ancestors. It could be one of Meatball ancestors. So yeah, I mean, yeah. It could be one of their little ancestors, straight from the lagoon. That's the real creature from the lagoon. But it might not even be from a lagoon. It could just be a creature. Look at that. So Cthulhu, man, is down there making babies, or rather, people are descendants of that. If you see any humanoids coming from the hollow earth, they coming out from the loins of the devil or Cthulhu, because the devil, right? I mean, Cthulhu uses mind to travel, to astral project his spirit and whatever the invisible parts is. What they call it, astral travel, right? So astral traveling. So Pixel T earlier was talking about telepathy. What's the difference between astral travel and telepathy? Is pretty much, you know what I mean? That's what I ain't think of the word astral then, trying to address what you were saying. But you have it where Cthulhu could possess bodies like a consciousness that don't got a body, and it could traverse large, different, vast levels of the earth and things like that. So I believe that technology that Cthulhu has of persuasion or what do you call it, combination. This is why people worship the devil. They get ideas for technology like this, you know what I mean? Like that led to the Moon Saturn matrix. So it's connected to Ouroboros, and it's connected to the Moon Saturn matrix, Jupiter, right? And so Cthulhu. So what you got in the middle is a product of all those avatars that Cthulhu had or has, right? And so whatever the case may be, the Most High God is the greatest. And so the Most High God made all these things. And so it's like, who won't be mad at Leviathan when Leviathan doing what Leviathan was made to do, right? And so the whole reason why you even got Leviathan, Levites, is because there is of the Leviathan, right? The concept of Leviticus deals with the law of God. So you have the word Leviathan and the law of God telling you what the most priestly concept is, right? So, you know what I mean? Look, I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. And all praises go to the Most High God. Heathens get destroyed. You know what I mean? That's just good. That's just great. You know, the earth has got a lot of things out there. We would have to be righteous to these things. Like, we can't just go out there and harvest them for whatever. And I think ancient peoples might have did that. Ancient people might have traveled when they got the ability to travel. They might have traveled and captured some things. You know, made it did something to them. You know what I mean? Because they talking like this shit ain't, like talking like, I don't know, they don't know where they from, so I'm trying to help. trying to help them. I'm trying to help. The ancient Americas look like they ain't got some technology on there. I can't see shit on that. I don't see none of that with the bug. I don't see that shit no more. I don't even see nothing on it. Hey, look, I got the arrows pointing on them. So yeah. See, there's a little faint line. The little faint line. Look, it's the same 3 lines on the first joint. It's the same 3 lines on your shit. Look. 1, 2, 3, like that. No, y'all don't think that's it? I don't think that's it. All right, so just never mind that. Just focus on this then. There it is. There it is. Hell yeah. So here's what happened. Here go a real serious moment, right? So in all the study of the cave walls and cave paintings and rock walls in the world that I did, I had isolated these aberrations or seemingly aberration. I didn't understand what it was, but now I know. And so this a famous cave painting in the world. This is from Le Rowe Caves, France. And look at this thing, this object right above this. You see, the real answer to this enigma nobody even thinks about is the fact that it's some type of creature. It's some type of creature that look like it can crawl on somebody. And this is where you get somebody getting crawled on by one of these creatures. Now look, here go a depiction of all these creatures crawling on somebody else. And they're not spiders, they're not stars, right? They're not starfish. So this is a unique creature. Look, there it is, this etched in stone, right? On this one, it's etched in stone. And so it's something. And so when we look at this artwork right here, what you see is a caribou. Is that a caribou? A ram is being accosted by it look like a group of these. And so what this means is that these things jumped on people, man. They jumped on, transformed them. Look, they done turned it out, reversed it. So there it is. So this is why you got it. where the Nag Hammadi library information talks about the demiurge fertilizing the world. I apologize. I was doing something with my phone, man. But man, yeah, that's what it is. You know, the fertilization from the Gnostics of demiurge is this creature. This is where they get the idea to come up with the shit that they come up with. You see. And so this from around the world. It's from around the world, man. It's from around the world, man. And so just like how they got the Squatter Man images, just like we got the Squatter Man images, you got this idea, this concept. And so there's something to it. And you know that's what they're going to call it. So yeah, the God made, see, the devil is a creation, son. Like the devil is people lacking faith in God and not knowing what to do. And getting destroyed, caught up, chasing after what the devil wants to. And so look, Hulu, when you see Hulu, you see it is saying Cthulhu. But they're not trying to say that shit. You know, so Hulu is with Disney now. Disney and Hulu is together. So, you know what I mean? It's like they trying to mask the fauna and ball it up as their belief or prayer to Cthulhu. Because now that's like supposed to be the greatest animal-like creature, an animal kingdom type. And so all the other creatures will like fall under, right? And so they'll just need to like choose a plant or some type of foliage that represent for the fauna, for the flora. And then they will say that they got both the fauna and the flora under control, under the ideologies of something that's true. And so what you got? What's the most ultimate flora concept? If Cthulhu is fauna, right? Then what's the flora? That would be the sun, right? Because there ain't gonna be no flowers without no sunlight. And so they go light and darkness, and that's the white and the black. And so the only reason why we see black is because of the light, the God light. And so that means that the white is black, but it's white. That's why we see black underneath, right? It's Cthulhu represent darkness, but divine is black when it comes to humanoids. So Cthulhu started off as a non-humanoid, right? And then he turned into a humanoid. And so, yeah, you talking about that's so old and long ago. He must have been a blob. And so they make stories about the blob. They come up with a concept about blob. But what is blob? Blob just trying to get you. It's like a giant bacterium. That shit is violent. They got flesh-eating plants. And so shit, it's a whole concept. It's a whole concept, man. Like, so you see Hulu is green and black. when you look up Cthulhu, watch this. I'ma just type in Cthulhu. And I bet you green and black. Come on. Look, Cthulhu. The plushie. Green and black. Yeah, green and black. Look, that shit look dumb. But see, they just, you know what I mean? Look, the book, Sherlock Holmes and Cthulhu, what? Oh, man. So, yeah, look, they put green and black. You know, that shit is always, that's Cthulhu. Look, all this green and black. So, green and black with Hulu, they talking about Cthulhu. So, once again, this is the Jupiter avatar, the Ouroboros python head South America avatar. And whatever else concept, you know what I'm saying? And it's that frequency that betwixt those things. With the moon Saturn matrix that we have it where dang, I just well, it's between all those frequencies we have this man, I don't know, man. It is what it is. It's connection. Where it's like, I don't know, it was some type of I don't know. It was some type of, I don't want to start guessing. That's it. That's it, man. Peace and salutes to y'all, man. Y'all got any questions? So let's run back. Let's get this clear. Let's run that back. So proof that this is talking about this and vice versa is that this is the goat of Mendes headed. And so a goat got rectangular eyes. And then this represent the octopus headed. And so here go an octopus head. The octopus eyes is rectangle too. So that's proof. You know what I'm saying? That not all creations is made from technology. You know what I'm saying? Not all creations is made from technology or artificialities. But Dylan Spearman, it's good to have people with knowledge of the Quran in the chat, man. Welcome. And shout out to Pixel Team. So Live and Learn says, so Satan made birds. Like, you ain't say why you said that. Like, I asked you, what made you say that? That shit was at 12 o'clock. And it's 12:40 now, and I'm hella slow. I'm hella slowed up. So check it. Like, you ain't say shit. Like, whatever, man. You don't know, you couldn't do this presentation. Live and learn. All you could do is like go in and out of chat. I asked you a question when I came across your question. I asked you, where did you hear that at? And so this is just a fringe topic, man. It's a fringe topic. You know what I'm saying? It's a fringe topic. You heard it here first. Nah, I'm just kidding. So I believe Satan is technology, man. I believe Satan is technology, man. Like Satan could be technology. So you say Satan didn't make any beasts. I don't know what Satan the fuck did. You don't think, you know, if there's any kids or children of Satan, they beasts, right? If they made any kids and shit, they beasts. Like the Satan, right? The devil, the Cthulhu. I'm saying all that is talking about Cthulhu. So people going hate because I'm taking a word that don't mean nothing. A word that don't mean nothing, that's made up, right? And then putting it to a potential physical being. And so that's all it is. It's like, would you believe that some type of creature exists that people know about that they could communicate? You know what I'm saying? Is that you believe that or not? Then it's as simple as that. When it comes to who make beasts, I don't know, man. Like this beast that was made, yeah, man. You you need to. I don't know, man. Why am I just dissatisfied with people chat frequency? Like, what is up? What's up with the just the statements and shit? He didn't make any beasts. He the king of the jinn. Like, I don't know where people be at. Like, what? So Satan is Cthulhu, man. That's what be clear. That's Cthulhu and Satan is the same thing now. Satan, Cthulhu, just an image made up by some people, right? That is supposed to be the image of Satan. Okay, so the image of Satan is Cthulhu. Okay. Now, is Cthulhu real as the image say? Is it different? Is it not real at all? What is Satan is? I think Satan is technology. And technology is what's keeping the ancient ones where they doing. So, you know, Satan technology could be organic, it could be non-organic. Oh, I just see a flash. What's going on, y'all? I had just seen a flash, y'all. What was that? What in the world was that, man? And you know what? Listen, man. I'm Red Squid X, host of Stealth Civilization Radio. I'm live right now talking about shit a lot of people don't care about, but it's cool. What should I talk about? How people trying to be the ones bringing information, talking about something more important. The fuck? Like, look, man, this is a chat. This is a glorified chat room, man. And so you see me toggling between the chat and the presentation. I could do it. We just need people that be more, you need to be more like present, man, because I don't know if you understand my responses or not. I don't know if you get it. Yo said they try to make white people the fall guy. Shit, white people making white people the fall guy, though, man. Like, but my first answer was universal. But at the same time, white people, man, is definitely one of many races being made the fall guy. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like, don't go and excusing white people. Corruption is corruption, right? And I don't know. It's a good argument. That's all. It's just a good. Whose fault is it? Right? That's what everybody want to know. Whose fault is it? But you know, white people ain't getting off no goddamn list. I'm from the United States, man. We're not finna sit here and get a moment of some type of eureka moment where we be like, you know what, it ain't about race. We want to address all of these things, including the race issues, because we know that the heathen out there in the world do nothing but treachery. They do nothing but treachery, and that's all. They just heathens, they worthless scum. And they deserve to be deleted more than anything, because they don't have no type of honor or respect. They don't have no type of value that they bring or trying to bring to the world. Like, they ain't got no efforts, no effort, no work put in, being nice to people or saving lives. Like, real shit. Like, they curse themselves trying to, you know, go against righteousness and things like that. All the divine is black, even the devils. Yeah, that definitely bros from the Nation of Islam, former Nation of Islam, perhaps. Maybe it's not my business, but I'm just saying it's to the real. But all right, listen, man, you don't have to push black is better around here, man. Like, you can relax. You can rebuke the devil. That's more helpful, right? It's more helpful. You know what I mean? We don't need to get like 30 minutes of, yeah, I feel you. Like, come on, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Nation of Islam need to stop praying to Allah. How about that? Start with that shit. Because all this accuracy that you see over here is from the God of Israel. Yeah. The God of Israel, the God of the universe. I'm not playing with none of them. You ain't gonna make no Arabic famous over here, dog. Straight up. The motherfuckers don't need no turban in the United States. Did you feel me? Like, look, you know what? You know what? It's like, why argue with people? And there's nobody in the chat, but I'm just saying in general, why argue with people if the motherfuckers around us about to blow this bitch up? Like they go out to blow some shit up. And people up here talking about it, the Bible real. Like, yo, I was just on YouTube and I seen Garfield with a video saying, did the resurrection really happen? And you know what else I saw? And I made them all. Listen, y'all want to watch some of that shit? Let's go ahead and end this and watch some. Man, Michael Ward, yeah, what's up? Peace and salutes to you. Oh, man, I say the most fiction before 2010 is Fat like Aragon. When a soldier is hit by arrows and claims to see the lights of Mana, how else? Yo, wow. Aragon is a word that is found in Siberia and in France. There's at least two. There's at least two Aragons, man. I think that's interesting. So what was I saying? So yeah, what you saying though? What's up? Aragon is Gaelic. Is a Gaelic mythic king. Okay. Uh, what's the name of the ones that come out of the stone? That's where the black hoods and they look pale in the face with a pale complexion and they bald without hair and shit. What's their names? With them, they travel through stone, travel through. Yeah. What was I doing? All right, I'm gonna show this picture and be out, man. Oh yeah. My bad. Uh, the drama of their book of laws, how they had secret contact with to other than credit of what they called the demigod. Like Yamun, god of Egypt, and storm, god of Hepatitis, Yahweh, Egypt, constantly guiding humanity to the horror of the most mystical homeless in the Bible. Yeah, I don't know. Are you answering the question on who them people is that travel through stone? Because that don't seem like an answer right there. Like, your name Michael, man, that's a biblical name. You can't be like this shit right. That shit got you. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like you know, man. Listen, I'm about to talk about something else. Straight up, I'm about to talk about something else, like, shit. Let's listen to some of this information. Let's listen to some of this information. Let's see about this. Is this information for education purposes only? Nah, I ain't gonna do it. Let's get out of here, man. We'll do it at a cool 2 hour. You know what I'm saying? How much we got? Yeah. But this is the end of the topic. You know what I mean? Cthulhu. So is there anything else I want to say about Cthulhu before we out of here? I think that the Cthulhu and the Hulu connection is good. I think that the Baphomet and the Cthulhu connection is good. The octopus and the goat eye connection is interesting. You know what I'm saying? The whole cave painting showing monsters is valid. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got the little maps that the Vatican release. It's strong. It's like it's good evidence that's straight out the vault of the Vatican. They had that shit locked away. And so that's a good that's a good source of information. Like, okay, so you got it where, all right. The secret societies, the 33-degree Masons and all that is lined up with it. You know, they keep shit secret. Like the word chthonic, that shit is secret. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know, white people like that shit. That's interesting. That's they shit. You know what I mean, the Bible say that they like they father, the master of lies, the father of lies. They pappy, and you know the motherfuckers will smile in your face all the while. Want to take your place, type shit. Yeah, you know what I mean, like who they fooling to this day? They cosplaying and they acting like they ain't the ones. But we know they the ones. And it's like we supposed to be dumbed down to think they're not racist. Give them a chance and shit. We'll be the first to say, look, man, it don't matter what color you is. But nah, man, this shit real, man. It do matter what color Jesus was, man, because Jesus still is that color. And when he returned with a sword of fire, it's woe unto the haters, man. They gonna be out of time and out of gas.